Hi guys, this is Isaac and I'll be sharing my reflection on Financial Management 101, which is my group intervention. To give some context to my activity, the purpose of my financial management activity is to share more about budgeting strategies, different types of investment platforms, and different types of savings accounts. The activity layout has three activity rounds followed by discussion. This aspect I want to reflect on happened during the discussion phase, and I asked my participants what they knew about investments. The aim of this question is to understand their current level of investment knowledge so that I can further explore it during the discussion. And the general response is that many are unfamiliar and viewed it as risky. And my response is that it depends. Then I started talking about different types of investment platforms like robo-advisors.
What do you know about investments?
If you burn your hands, that's it. Lose everything.
Lose everything.
Yeah, kinda must do it appropriately and know which actually I don't know. There's a lot like
Okay.
right like that.
Okay.
But to invest, you also need a base. And then to.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Depends.
But then if you invest and let's say it doesn't move up, then it goes down, you also need to be able to cover.
Depends. Okay, so
I think an area that went well is that my question helped to elicit a good gauge of my participants' current knowledge, and this helps me tailor my explanation to your needs, and this could potentially increase the engagement. Another thing that went well is I believe having a direct explanation and including suggestions like Saif, a robo-advisor, helps participants understand accessible and low-risk options to start investing. This may bolster their confidence to start. However, I think my response was merely informative and did not address deep-seated misconceptions about investing. And the negative impact on the participants is that those who still believe investments are inherently risky may still hold such beliefs. I think my tone was also quite dismissive. I replied with "it depends." This may seem dismissive and abrupt to some participants, making them feel undervalued and potentially making them uncomfortable with sharing in future sessions. According to transformational learning theory, learning occurs when individuals question and reflect on their underlying assumptions. Using this frame of reference, I think my response was lacking in this component as I failed to get them to reflect. Perhaps a better response would be to ask why they believe investments as risky, capitalizing on this opportunity. Another question I could have asked is, if you don't invest your money, it will remain stagnant in the bank. With low interest rates and rising inflation, don't you think not investing is also inherently risky? Using the international relationship model, I think the therapeutic use of self was poorly applied. When the participants expressed uncertainty or even some form of fear in participating in investments, I think my reaction took on a instructing mode rather than a collaborating and empathizing mode. At that point in time, I did not consider whether the interpersonal characteristics, like perhaps the background they grew up in, may could have made them adverse to considering investments. I think my response reflected a poor choice of therapeutic modes. I also think at this point in the discussion, it would have been a good opportunity to apply two key principles of Yalom's therapeutic factors to draw upon universality. I could have brought up the common point that among participants, the uncertainty towards investing is common within a group. Furthermore, because they are still young, they have the opportunity to start on the investment journey, and this could instill some sense of hope for those who think it's too late to start. I think pointing this out could enhance group cohesiveness as well, as members recognize that uncertainty or lack of knowledge is common within the group. Through sharing, this could build trust and then serve as a stepping stone for group cohesion. During my tutorial sharing, I shared out how the mode of conducting the group intervention was generally through imparting information. And I think a notable feedback by Prof. Alicia is that how my own perspective towards learning and sharing information might have changed. For example, can adult learning theory be applied to the group leader, myself? I think I had an epitome that convincing others goes beyond just telling them, but also spurring others to reflect. I think in conducting such group interventions, one must not only be a teacher but also a facilitator. I think a shift in perspective is required. More importantly, I believe that group facilitation skills requires practice and are not developed overnight. In my action plan, I intend to do two things. Firstly is to apply what I've learned, for example, RM, into my daily social interactions. For example, during group meetings or social interactions, I will be more sensitive to the mood of the group and adopt necessary therapeutic modes. For instance, if my friends or group of friends have a hard day, I would adopt a more empathetic mode. But if that day they're having a discussion, I would adopt my more instructing mode. Secondly, I hope to practice Yalom's therapeutic vectors and key transformational learning theories for my next clinical practice. That before I go on my placement, I will conduct at least one mock group intervention with a different group of participants to hone my skills in each trimester break. Ideally, through practice and continuous reflection, the skills become more instinctive rather than procedural.